Hello everyone and welcome to this video on the Python programming language. So in this video, I'm going to attempt to create a strategy called the dual moving average crossover that will help me to determine when to buy and sell stock. Now, currently I am on Google's website called colab.research.google.com because it makes it really easy to start programming in Python, which is what I'm going to be using in order to use this strategy. And all you have to do is go to this website and then log in using your Google account and get started writing your Python code. So let's go ahead and get started writing this code. The first thing that you're going to want to do is click on File and then New Notebook, where a new tab will open up for you. Now, before I write any logic for the program, I want to talk a little bit more about the strategy. So again, the strategy is called the dual moving average crossover, and it occurs when a short-term average crosses a long-term average. This signal is used to identify that momentum is shifting in the direction of the short-term average, and a buy signal is generated when the short-term average crosses the long-term average and rises above it, while a sell signal is triggered by a short-term average crossing a long-term average and falling below it. Okay, so with all that being said, that definition is actually straight from DataCamp. So let's go ahead and get started with this program. So the first thing I'm going to do is write a comment in this cell, and I'm going to put in the description about the program. So this program uses the dual moving average crossover to determine when to buy and sell stock. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and create a new cell by clicking this code button in the top left, and I'm going to import the libraries that I'm going to be using throughout the program. All right, so I want to import pandas as PD, and I'm going to import numpy as np. Then from datetime, I'm going to import datetime and make sure I spell that correctly. Okay, next I'm going to import matplotlib.pyplot. And actually, I might not use that datetime, but I'll leave it there for now. Anyways, this will be matplotlib.pyplot as plt. And then I'm going to give the plot a style, so type plt.style.use, and I'm going to use the 538 style. All right, now I'm going to run this cell by clicking this button here to the left, and hopefully there are no errors. So let's see, give it some time, and it looks good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and create a new cell, and I'm going to bring that up a little bit. And now I'm going to load the data. So I'm using Google's website, so I need to use Google's library to load this data onto the site. So from google.colab, I'm going to import files, and then I'm going to create a variable called uploaded and set it equal to files.upload. All right, and I'm going to run this cell and click on choose files, and perfect. So now I'm going to upload that apple.csv file, which contains the stock price for Apple. Okay, and it looks like it's uploaded. So let's go ahead and create a new cell. And in this cell, I want to store the data. So I'm going to create a variable called AAPL. I'm going to set it equal to pd.read_csv. And I need to tell it what file I want it to read, and that's aapl.csv. And then I want to show the data. So I'm going to type AAPL, and then let's run this cell. All right, and now I can see the data for this file. All right, and I can see that this has Apple's stock price from October 2nd, 2006 to December 30th, 2011. Okay, and then we can see that it has the open price, it has the high price, the low price, the close price, the adjusted close price, and the volume. Okay, and of course the date. All right, so let's go ahead and create a new cell, and I kind of want to visualize this data, see how it looks over this time span. So here I'm going to visualize the data. So just type plt.figure, and then I'm going to give the figure a figure size. I'm going to set it equal to 12.5 inches by 4.5 inches, and then I'm going to plot the data. So I'm going to type plt.plot, and I want to plot only the adjusted close price. So I'm going to type AAPL and then my brackets, and then adjusted close price. Okay, so that looks good. And I'll go ahead and give it a label as well. So I'm just going to call it AAPL for now. And then I'm going to give the plot a title. So I'm going to type plt.title, and the title will be Apple adjusted close price history, something like that. And then I want to give the x-axis a label. So I'll type plt.x label, and the label will be October 2nd, 2006 to December 30th, 2011. All right. And I want to give the y-axis a label. So I type plt.y label, and it will be the adjusted close price in US dollars. So I put USD here. Okay, so that looks good. And then let's give this plot a legend. So type plt.legend and put it in the upper left location, and then show the plot. So type plt.show, and let's run this. All right, so now we get a visualization of this data from October 2nd, 2006 to December 30th, 2011. And what's interesting is that you can see if you had bought basically one share of the company here for, it looks like a little under $10, then in December 30th, 2011, you would have had over $50 from that one share. So you would have profited what of extra $40, right? So your money would have increased 5 times. So it probably would have been a good investment in 2006 to invest into Apple and to sell over here. But you know, the price definitely, I believe, has went up from that now as of today. All right, so let's go ahead and create a new cell. And now I want to create that short-term average. All right, so I'm going to create a simple moving average, and it's going to have a window of 30 days. So here I'm going to create the simple moving average with a 30-day window. All right, so I'm going to create a variable called SMA 30, and I'm going to set this equal to pd dot data frame. All right, and that needs to be a capital there. All right, so now I'm going to set a column equal to whatever data that I want, which in this case, I want the adjusted close price of the stock. So I'm going to type SMA 30, and then I will call this adjusted close price. I'm going to set it equal to AAPL adjusted close price. Okay, but then I want to roll it up. So dot rolling with a window equal to 30, and I want the mean. All right, then let's take a look at the data now that I'm done with that. So just type SMA 30 and let's run this. Okay, and now I have this nice simple moving average for the 30-day window. All right, let's go ahead and create a new cell, and I want to create the long-term average. So I'm going to basically create another simple moving average, but this time it's going to be for 100 days. So I'm going to create a simple moving 100-day average. All right, so let's create a variable called SMA 100, and I'm going to set it equal to pd.dataframe. All right, and then I'm going to give it a column. So SMA 100 column will be called adjusted close price, and I'm going to set it equal to, actually let me go back up here really quick, make sure I didn't put a space. All right, good. Okay, so it's going to be equal to AAPL adjusted close price, and I want to roll it up as well. So just type dot rolling, and the window will be 100. All right, and of course I want the average, so dot mean. And then let's take a look at this data set. So type SMA 100 and then let's run this cell. Okay, so everything looks good there as well. All right, now that we have these data sets, let's look at a visual of this data. All right, so I'm going to visualize the data again. All right, so what I can do, I'm basically going to be creating almost the same plot from before. So I'm just going to go back up here where I created this chart. I'm going to highlight it and copy it using Control C, and then come back down here and paste it using Control V. All right, and this time I'm going to add two more plots. So I'm going to type plt.plot, and I'm going to plot SMA 30. All right, I'm going to plot the adjusted close price. Adjusted close price. Okay, and I'm going to give it a label. So I'm going to set the label equal to SMA 30. And then I'm going to basically copy this using Control C and then paste it using Control V and just change SMA 30 to SMA 100 and the label as well. All right, and now let me go ahead and run this. And now we can see the data. We can see the simple moving 30-day average in the orangish color, and then the simple moving 100-day average in the yellowish color. All right. Okay, and so now what the strategy is telling us is that we should basically be buying anytime the short-term average crosses the long-term average. So anytime the SMA 30 crosses the SMA 100, that will be basically a signal to buy. All right. So basically, if I look here, um, let's actually start. I'm going to start it here. Why not? So the orange again is the short-term average. And so it looks like it's crossing that long-term average here. So right here, it would be a point where it's telling us to buy. Okay. And then you can see right around here, it crosses and it goes lower than the long-term average. And so at this point, we should definitely sell because it's telling us that the momentum is going to drop or go down. It's telling us the direction of the momentum. All right. So I kind of want to plot this and see this for myself using Python. So let's see how well this strategy actually works. So I'm going to create a new cell. And in this cell, I'm basically going to create a new data frame that I'll use to plot all the data. So here I'm going to create a new data frame to store all the data. And I'll go ahead and bring this up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to call this data, set it equal to pd.dataframe. And the data column called AAPL will contain AAPL adjusted, AAPL adjusted close price. And then the column SMA 30 will contain SMA 30 adjusted close price. And then the column SMA 100 will contain SMA 100 adjusted close price. All right, so that looks good. Let's go ahead and take a look at the data just by typing data and run this cell. Okay, and now I have this nice data set. So let's go ahead and create a new cell. And now I want to basically create a function that will return the buy and sell price. Okay, and this we'll use that price to then plot it on the chart. Okay, So we'll use it to plot when to buy and when to sell onto that graph or chart. So here I'm going to create a function to signal when to buy and sell the asset or the stock. All right, so let's call this buy underscore sell, and it's going to take in some data, and then the signal price to buy will be an empty list, and the signal price to sell will be an empty list. Okay, then I'm going to create a flag that's basically going to tell me when or it's basically going to tell me when the two moving averages crossed past each other. So I'm basically going to use the flag for that. Okay, so now I want to create a loop. So let me bring this up a little bit. All right, so for I in range data, actually for I in range len data, all right, if data SMA 30 at position I, if that is greater than data SMA 100 at position I, then I need to check the flag. So if the flag does not equal 1, then we have not been here, right? And right now the flag does not equal 1, the flag equals -1. So in that case, I want to get that price. So sig price buy, so the signal price to buy dot append, and then I'm going to append the price, which is data at AAPL position I. All right, and then the price to sell, the signal price to sell, will be not available, right? It'll be nothing. So it's just type np.nan. So I'm going to input a nan value. All right, and then I'm going to set my flag equal to 1, signaling that I just went here. Okay, else the signal price to buy dot append will be a nan value. I will append a nan value. All right, and I need to do the same thing for the price to sell. np.nan. All right, and I'm probably making this more complicated than what it has to be, but oh well, let's keep going. So else if data at position or at column SMA 30 position I, if that is less than data at position SMA 100 column I, then I'm going to check to see if we've been here already. So I'm going to see if the flag is equal to, or if the flag does not equal, I need some other number. So I'm going to say 0. Then the signal price to buy, signal price to buy dot append will be nothing. We won't append any values. This right here is telling us, this is signaling us to sell. Right now, the simple moving 30-day average is less than the simple moving 100-day average. All right, so it's telling us to sell. So I need to do sig price sell dot append, and I need to append that price, which is at column AAPL and position I. Okay. Else, I will just append nothing. So sig price dot append np dot nan. All right, and sig price sell dot append np nan. All right, So now if neither of those two are the case, so else, then I'm just going to append sig price to buy dot append np dot nan. So I'm just not going to append anything. So I'm only appending when the simple moving 30-day average is less than the simple moving 100-day average, and when it's greater than the simple moving 100-day average. All right, so that's the only time I'm adding values. So here I'm gonna put np.nan. Okay, so I'm very sure I made that more complicated than what it needed to be. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and return sig price buy and sig price sell. All right, let's go ahead and run this. I hope that I'm not making any mistakes here. So let's run this. Looks like there are some mistakes. So where did I mess up at? Okay, so sig price dot append here. All right, right there. Get rid of that, and then let's run this again. Okay, now it looks good. So I'm gonna create a new cell, and now I'm going to store the buy and sell data into a variable. So more specifically into that data variable that was created earlier. So first I'm going to create a buy underscore sell variable, and I'm going to set that equal to buy underscore sell, and it's going to input data. And then the data column that I'm going to create is going to be called buy underscore signal underscore price, and I'm going to set this equal to buy underscore sell at position 0. And I'm going to create another column for this data set called sell underscore signal underscore price. And actually I want all these to be capitals. All right, and I'm going to set this equal to buy underscore sell at position 1. And that looks good. So let's run this. And it looks like I messed up somewhere. So let's see what's going on here. Sig price sell is sig price sell. Did I not create sig price sell? It is. All right, so let's look at this error here. So it says name sig price sell is not defined. And here, sig, right here. All right, so it needs to be a capital there, and I think that'll do it. So I'm going to rerun this function here, and let's run this now. Okay, so we got some more errors. So where is sig price sell? Let's keep looking here. All right, and where else? I think that is it. I'm gonna run it one more time. Hopefully this is the last time. Run this again, and now everything works. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and create a new cell. And in this cell, I want to show the data. So just type data, and then let's run this. Okay, now I get back all of these columns, and it looks good. So this is my data set with all this data manipulation that I've done. It's all here in this one nice data set. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new cell here, and now it's time to visualize the data and the strategy to buy and sell. Okay, to buy and sell the stock. Okay, so just type plt dot figure, and then again I'm going to give it a figure size. I'm going to set the figure size equal to, this time I will do, I keep it the same, 12 point, we'll do 12.6, why not? 12.6 inches by 4.6 inches, and then type plt dot plot, and I'm going to plot data at position AAPL, and then I'm going to give it a label. So I'm going to set the label equal to AAPL, so that's the adjusted close price, and that looks good for now. So next I want to plot the simple moving average the simple moving 30-day average to be more specific, and let's give it a label. It will be SMA 30. All right, then I want to plot the simple moving average for the 100-day window, so SMA 100, and the label will be SMA 100. Okay, then I want to type plt.scatter and put in data.index, and then I want this data to be the buy underscore signal underscore price. Okay, and the label will be buy, and I'm actually going to give this a marker. So the marker will be this nice little up signal there, or up character. Okay, and I'm going to give it a color as well. So the color will be green, right, because it's going up. And then type plt.scatter data.index, and I'm going to plot data at position, or data column cell underscore signal underscore price, and I'm going to give it a label as well, and I would just put cell here, and it will have a marker as well, and the marker will be showing it go down, and then the color will be red because that kind of indicates that, you know, the momentum shift is going down. All right, then I'm going to give the plot a title, so type plt.title, and this will be Apple adjusted close price history buy and sell signal, or signals. Okay, and then I will give the x-axis a label, so plt.xLabel, and it's basically going to be the same thing I did before. It's October 2nd, 2006 to December 30th, 2011. All right, and then same thing for the y-axis, so plt.ylabel is going to be the adjusted close price USD $, and then I want to give it a legend, so plt.legend, and the location will be on the upper left, and then plt.show. All right. Okay, so now if I didn't make any mistakes, this hopefully will run. Let's go ahead and run this. And it looks like I did make some mistakes. So let's go back up and let's see where the mistakes are right here. This needs to be data. So let's run this again. And now it looks good. Okay. So when I say it looks good, it actually doesn't look that good. It looks, well, one thing, I can't see the indicators, and it looks like there's more indicators than what there should be. So what that means is, one, I need to change this graph. So let's change the alpha here. I'm going to put 0.35, and I'm just going to copy this using Control C and paste it here and here. And let's run this again. Okay, so now I can see the arrows, but this is definitely wrong. So that means I did something wrong with my function here, and I can check out the strategy. So I know exactly what it is. Here I did not set the flags equal to 0, right, to indicate that I actually went there. So the flag needs to be set equal to 0 here. I did set the flag equal to 1 here, and everything else looks good. So let's run this again, and then let's run this again, and let's run this again, and then run this. Okay, and now the chart looks a lot better. So now I can see the signals when to buy and when to sell the Apple stock based off of the adjusted close price and this strategy here. All right, so it looks like for the strategy, I should buy here and then sell it here. Okay, and then the strategy is telling me to buy here and sell here. Now, this is a problem because I would lose money if I did that by buying here and selling here. So that's not good. But then it tells us to, the strategy tells us to buy down here and then sell up here, which is good because again, I still would have made some profit. It wouldn't have been the optimal place to sell, right? The optimal place to sell probably would have been like right here somewhere or here. I don't know which one's higher. I think this right here may be a little bit higher. But uh yeah, we still would have made profit after buying here and selling here. And then the strategy tells us to buy here, right? And then sell it here. So again, not the optimal place to sell, but still profitable. And then the strategy tells us to buy here and sell here. And I really can't tell um, just by looking at this chart here if we would have lost money or gained money. It really seems about the same. So I'm really not sure. Maybe we would have gained just a little bit. Look like it might be a little bit higher. I I really can't tell. So anyways, I know for sure that we would have lost money here. Okay. So this strategy seems okay, seems decent, right? But I only looked at this small data set and I only looked at this one asset to test this strategy. So a lot more testing will be needed with this strategy in order to see how well it performs. So anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please leave any questions you have in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button and that subscribe button. And I have many other videos on stocks and on Python and on chatbots and programming in general and machine learning. So be sure to check all those out if you're interested. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.